Hayden High School joins in rallying around one of its star athletes, a sophomore in this case, Melissa.
Ryan Connelly Holmes tells us how Jacob Askins is battling with the community behind him.
The atmosphere at Hayden is electric, but as the Wildcats surge on the field, one spectator wishes more than anything he could be with them. Sophomore Jacob Askins has been sidelined since February when an MRI for a knee injury revealed a tumor in his leg.
I was kind of shocked. I didn't know. My biggest concern was if I was going to play sports or not.
School has been put on hold as well. 15-year-old Jacob visits Kansas Medical Center every 3 weeks for chemotherapy, targeting the tumor and spots in his lungs. Demanding treatment leaves Jacob exhausted. The process is tough for a mother to watch.
Sports are his life. He loves them. That's everything to him. And to think that maybe there's a chance that he won't ever get to play again, I mean, that's hard.
Jacob hadn't been on this Hayden field in more than a year. That was until a couple Fridays ago when some of his teammates had an idea. They had Jacob lead the team out onto the field.
My coach just wanted to make sure I knew I was still a part of the team. It meant a lot.
I cried, of course. I got teary-eyed, and he actually also had the tears coming down his face, and I think that was good for him.
As travel and medical costs grow, so is the support from the community. Hayden High School and many in Jacob's hometown of Holton have rallied around him. Friends of the family hosted a chili feed for Jacob before Hayden's playoff game Saturday.
We don't have to fight this alone. There's a lot of people that support us, and that's what keeps us going, really.
Anderson's mantra is for her son to battle.
You fight this just as hard as you would to out on that football field. You do anything you had to do to play on that football game. You do anything you have to do to beat this. This is your life.
Ryan Connelly Holmes, 13 News.
You can donate to the family through Topeka Employees Credit Union under the name Greg Slater/Jacob Askins, or contact the family through Hayden High School. Great to see everyone rallying around Jacob, and we wish him all the best in fighting and winning, as we know he will.
Certainly hope so. We hope to follow up on that story with Jacob and how he's doing.
All right, the 4th annual Minorities Women Business Development Small Business Conference kicked off this morning.
That's where we find 13 News reporter Ryan Connelly Holmes, who is live from the Ramada Convention Center in downtown Topeka. Ryan?
Amanda, I'm here at the 4th annual Minorities and Women's Business Development Small Business Conference, where guest speaker James Berg-Guess, he's going to be talking to local business owners and entrepreneurs all about pursuing their passion and driving their business. Now, in the last 30 years, small business has been booming. 23 million small businesses in the most recent study by the Small Business Administration. That's nearly 50% growth in the past 30 years. In the last 20 years, 8 million new jobs have been created by small business. But now recently, in the past few months, there's been some uneasiness in Washington, which has caused a drop in optimism, according to the National Federation of Independent Businesses. With the rollout of the Affordable Care Act, small business finances around here in Topeka are going to be greatly impacted, and small business owners are going to have to look out for it. But as many businesses here in Topeka, they're feeling good about the holiday season. I spoke with representatives from the Educational Credit Union, the Small Business of the Year in 2012, and they said they are very optimistic about the way the communities have been rallying around small businesses all throughout the city, hoping that profits and everything will be great in the coming months. Chris?
All right, thanks for that. Ryan Connelly Holmes live in downtown Topeka.
One Topeka man is using one of his passions to fight cancer in a 24-hour journey. 13's Ryan Connelly Holmes has that story.
Eric Nordgren is fighting cancer with his bicycle. For 8 years, he's gone on a ride to raise money for local cancer patients.
It's fun, it's exciting, it's rewarding. And then it also is kind of a memorial to two of my parents, which passed away from cancer.
A few years ago, he began riding for children with cancer. The kids he will have in mind as he treks 350 miles this year are London Hibbert and Kara Selk. Both of them are younger than 7 years old.
It can be a tough time riding for the kids because the kids I'm riding for, most of them are fighting for their lives.
To ensure that all donations go directly to the kids, Nordgren's company Aspen Construction, along with biking nonprofit Sunflowers to Roses, underwrite all funding. The joys of fundraising are sometimes coupled with sadness. One of his beneficiaries, Isaac Weichert, recently passed away.
It's hard to ride and cry at the same time, but I was literally in just sobbing tears for a better part of an hour.
Nordgren is scheduled to complete his nonstop ride tomorrow at 2 p.m. at Ice and Olives. Ryan Connelly, Holmes, 13 News.
Thank you, Ryan. Nordgren, a father of 5, said he sees the children he rides for as his own.
Well, only an hour from Topeka lies the city with a unique connection to Veterans Day.
It is Emporia, and Ryan Connelly Holmes has a story of their connection to the holiday.
As the parade works down Commercial Street, spectators and veterans in Emporia pay tribute to those who fought for the United States. Lydia Ryder's nephew is currently serving in Afghanistan. She's out to thank veterans like her father and other nephews who have spent time in the armed forces.
Our nation is great because of them, all the sacrifices they have made for our country. A lot of us don't understand that until it hits home. This is what America is all about right here in Emporia, Kansas.
What makes Veterans Day different in Emporia is that the day actually began here 60 years ago. Emporia native Alvin King started the day that was first recognized nationally in 1954.
I think it's really neat that Emporia was where it came forward and was birthed. The idea of Veterans Day being so important, and it's great to be from here.
After the parade, the city held a memorial service to pay formal respects to those who've served.
And as the years go by, you think a lot more about your service and how much it means to your country. I think when you're young, you probably don't think about it as much, but as the years go on, it gets more emotional.
Ryan Connelly, Holmes, 13 News.
President Dwight Eisenhower signed the bill making Veterans Day a national observance in 1954.
It's no secret that the Kansas offense is struggling. The offensive unit has only scored 3 touchdowns in its last 3 ball games. To try and jumpstart the offense, Charlie Weiss is trying his most hands-on approach to offense yet.
I'm going to get much more involved in the coaching of the skill positions, which I think has been lacking.
Quarterbacks coach Ron Paulus and tight ends coach Jeff Blasco will now have larger roles in running the offense. Weiss hopes to spark creativity and better staff communication with this move.
Sometimes you hold in ideas because the head coach or the / offensive coordinator already has a bunch of them on his own. So what I now do is I let them put all their stuff up. I don't say anything yet.
And his coaches have responded well.
At times I was reluctant to open my mouth, but now that I have the freedom to do so, I think it obviously helps.
We're always looking to put the offense in the best position to have some success on the field and move the ball and score points, and so it's a very collaborative effort.
The Jayhawks will try this system of preparation for the first time leading into Saturday's game against Oklahoma, and it isn't a one-week only process. Weiss says he's committed to it for the rest of the season. Reporting from Lawrence, Ryan Connelly Holmes, 13 Sports.